Well, welcome to a new podcast episode of the Beauty of Business podcast. Today's guest is a successful e-com founder and has mastered the art of growing his stores. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, thank you. And I have a
Uh,
pleasure talking to Alex.
it's great having you here. You're currently living in Bali, living the Bali life. But how did you actually get started in business?
It's a very long story with many turning points. I've always been a young hustler. Since 14, 15, I started working. Uh, Before that, I played a lot of football, which definitely built the framework. Uh, so yeah, it all started by the football. Because I wanted to prove to myself that it's actually possible to do a really big goal. So I remember when I started playing football, I could juggle maybe 3 or 4 times with the ball. So I just went out like for 2, 3 months straight and kicked the ball to a wall for 2 hours. Just like there's no way I can fail at making this goal, like
Yeah,
I just made it so delusional. And after that winter, I could juggle 1,000. So that was the first time I actually proved my mind that if you just set a delusional goal and just work so much that it doesn't make sense, that you will not get it, it will always succeed. That's
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah,
So,
because I remember a couple of years ago, me and you actually connected, and it was just at the beginning of kind of getting into business as well. And I guess you guys tried a couple of different things and now are fully into ecom. Can you tell a bit about like the story from the first try or first business until till now?
oh yeah, I've done a lot of business. I started my first business when I was 15 or 16. At that time, I tried to get into the SMMA space. It was the hottest space. Like there's always been waves of
Yeah.
these gurus and everything. So I really wanted to get into ecom at that time, drop shipping. Uh, but the funny thing is, when I watched the drop shipping tutorial, I saw that there was this drop shipping site selling lion bracelets. And then later, I stumbled across this one other YouTuber that did theme pages.
Mhm.
And just again, like in the football, this crazy thought came to me like, what if I build the world's biggest theme page in a specific niche?
Yeah.
So yet again, I just set a strategy. This is what I'm gonna do every single day. So I posted like 4 times a day, just ripped content from all of Instagram. At the end, I had posted like every single piece of content for that niche on that page. So I just started reposting the winners. But after 1.5 year, I actually created the world's biggest theme page for lions. And it's not like I have any specific taste for lions, but why not,
It worked.
So
Yeah.
it worked. And then I also learned teach it to some of my friends, which also had success. And then I started, of course, I tried to create an e-commerce store
Yeah.
for the first time. I was like 16. So I remember I had 3 sales. One of them was my mom. One of them was an actual follower, and one of them was a test purchase.
Yeah.
So it was definitely. I remember really when my mom placed the order, I thought it was a customer, but it was her.
It's like, yeah, it's in the order, but it's my mom. So kind of doesn't count.
Yeah, but yeah, after that, I actually got featured in one of the biggest articles in Norway, and I sold that page. Uh, and then again, I started tried to come into ecom. I remember my first physical meeting.
Yeah.
I actually closed it. I was just straight up reading a script for my PC, like sitting and shaking, like trying to play the boss. And actually closed. It was a local sushi restaurant. I remember them to this day. So there has been many wins, like the turning points. I call them a turning point. It's when you unlock almost a new consciousness of what's actually possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's like the SMMA craze was a couple of years ago, and we see a lot of people still getting into it. Um, but it's a very saturated market, and the industry is changing so quickly as well. So it's me still running an agency. It's hard times for a lot of us. So I'm guessing the foundations that you learn from kind of building theme pages and doing ads and running social media obviously help you in the ecom today.
Oh yeah, but that's not only it, because I also worked sales. I was a really good salesman in Norway because yet again I found like a pocket of blue ocean,
Yeah.
and I just hammered it every single day, like 100 calls a day. Got a lot of money, basically got kicked out of the job. So then I said, fuck it. I'm going to start something from my own. 2 weeks go by, and I get called from now one of my colleagues, Thomas, and he's like, yo, you should come look at this project. I think you're the perfect guy. So at that time, I came into the world's first airbag jeans,
Hmm.
which was actually a really good learning experience. It was an investor-backed company selling like this innovation for motorcyclists, which is pretty cool. But I remember I was also in that transition of going from sales to SMMA,
Yeah.
which was again the goal. So I had no clue of what I was doing yet again. And again, like I said, I just set this goal and started hammering it all day. Like after work, coming back to the office in the sales because I had no PC, fucking broke. And I just worked until like 12, 1, 2.
Yeah.
And within like, I remember within 10 days, I had my first viral video for this brand.
Yeah.
And then it just
I
exploded. I got,
actually, yeah, I actually remember seeing it and the content absolutely ripped.
it
It was,
ripped.
yeah, it was so good.
It was a total of 2 billion views on only our accounts. And
That's
like the
insane.
repost and shit, I think it was probably a 5 billion view spread in like 3 months. It's insane.
That's crazy.
Just hammer content, man.
Yeah. Um, like now you guys are obviously ripping it with your own brands. But what do you think most people get wrong about e-commerce?
Oh, that's a good question. I think definitely people underestimate how hard it is,
Yeah.
like everything else. But if you just get enough reps, you can't lose.
Yeah.
You just have to have the mindset of that you can't lose. Even if you lose, you are not a loser because you have not quit, and that's very important. So to answer your question, that's a hard one actually.
Yeah, and I see a lot of content you post like on TikTok and stuff is like people saying e-commerce is dead and it's impossible to get into, but it's obviously not. It's maybe just harder than it used to be.
Yeah, I think actually what they get wrong is usually the product.
Yeah.
That's probably number one because you never, I mean, if you hit on your first product, you're either a genius or you're just lucky.
That's very true. Yeah. Yeah, because from our side as a marketing agency, we often have sales calls and talk with leads and business owners, and they get into e-commerce because they like this product is specific, but they haven't done research on the market or on the product. And then also their margins are horrible, which means when you run ads to actually sell the product, it almost impossible to scale the store because there's no money from every sale. And that's kind of been a lot of our issue as an agency because a lot of e-com owners doesn't understand that part of it.
But then do you help them build out the offers to actually make it profitable?
Yeah, we help some of them. The problem with some of the stores we work with is um, they start with just one product. And obviously that can work, but still, if you have one product and low margin, it's really hard to get things
Yeah.
going. Um, but yeah, we help them kind of build out the funnel, build out different offers. And of course, if there are multiple products, we help them bundle and kind of figure out how to increase that lifetime value and the average order value so we have more money to spend.
Order value is actually a very important one because I think a lot of the starting ecom brands they are afraid of the big prices.
Yeah,
But actually, if you think about it, if you actually give the customer the ability to spend more, they will
yeah,
do it. And it's usually the same CPA, and that's the wild part.
yeah. It's just more expensive products, bigger margins. Um, and then you have more money to spend on actually scaling the business and the brand. It makes a lot of sense. And from my background, where in watches and in jewelry, the margins are insane, insanely
Yeah.
high. So it's um, from where I'm standing, it's like okay, but these brands have these type of margins, and you're operating on 20%, 15%. How are we going to make this profitable without like the
No, that's not
best?
possible.
No,
You need to have
it's
minimum 70 minimum.
yeah, if you want to grow like a real online store, it's above 50 is necessary.
Oh yeah, I would say 70 even.
Um, we kind of touched on it, but we see a lot of people getting into e-commerce failing. Besides the products, why do you think the failure rate is so high?
Marketing,
Yep.
the hardest part, the blood of the business. The marketer will always struggle. If you don't have a kick-ass marketer, you won't succeed. It's just simple as that. I mean, you can have the best converting website, but if your ads suck, like the ads is the blood.
Yeah.
You need to have a good marketer.
With your brands at the moment, how is I imagine most of it is from paid ads, but are you guys getting any sale from organic content on social?
To be honest, not really,
Oh,
because I think it's very weird that specifically for this brand, our account cannot get engagement, and that's one thing I've never seen before because there's no fake followers, there's
yeah,
no fake likes, and just always been. I'm this page I've actually ran like I ran all the other pages, like not necessarily because it's a brand page, but I've had no luck. So, but that's no problem because everything comes from ads. But if you can also push the same ads organically, which in most cases you can, of course,
yeah,
there's a little difference in content style. Then you can actually also push some extra sales from organic. So yeah, organic is great if you can nail it.
yeah. Because we see a lot of talk around the organic part of things, and I like the idea of like building a brand universe, brand world, call it what you want. But it also takes a lot of money and a lot of time to build good content or kind of build out that brand content. Um, and most people don't have it. The other part of it is it's not trackable directly. So it's very hard to kind of figure out what's working and what's not. And if you can track it at a certain level, it's like how quickly can you turn around and make new content that's similar and will continue actually bringing in sales?
I mean, as a lean startup, probably slim
Yeah,
because usually you're a 1 or 2 or 3 man show, which I mean, just in the couple months, I've noticed how big of a deal a production team is. Because to be honest, the first million we ever sold, we filmed it all with our iPhones,
yeah,
and I edited it in CapCut. All the creators. So definitely, you don't need any camera gear because it's just organic style.
yeah,
That's usually what people resonate to either way. It's like why even have a camera? You can, I mean, if you have a camera, it's great. It's better for ads, but for organic, definitely. Even
Yeah,
for ads, iPhone is king.
yeah, and it's really, really high quality at the moment, especially the new iPhone. So organic, definitely. We work with some kind of higher end brands and kind of luxury positioning. And the kind of problem or difficulty with them is everything needs to look high end as well. It's not We're not working with Patek, just so that's clear. But you can't do the same content for Patek as you do for kind of a quick paced running brand that's not premium. So how do you guys kind of figure out the content style for your brand? And do you think it works for even more premium or luxury brands as well?
That actually I cannot answer because I have not tried. But in the start of Q1, we are starting a new brand,
Hmm.
which has this difference.
Yeah,
Now we run a brand that can run all types of content. It's not
yeah,
like we are too much branded. We just
makes sense.
pump out a lot of volume. But for this new brand we're starting, it will be that way. It will be more luxury. It will be more branded. Now we know what we're doing and we know how to do it correct.
Yeah,
So we'll see, and I'm very excited just to see how making the switch will actually look in terms of how fast the brand picks up pace,
yeah.
and also how fast it grows. So it's, I think it will be a different ball game, but I wouldn't run the same ads I run for this brand in the same style for the other brand.
No, that
That I
makes
will.
sense.
So we'll see.
Thanks. Yeah, I find that kind of very interesting for us because that's where we kind of want to go and work with those high-end brands. And it's a bit more difficult, but because there's more branding guidelines, which we cannot cross because they need to stay in kind of their lane. Uh,
Yeah.
that's kind of easier with other types of brands where we can just test, like you said,
Yeah.
everything. Um, but again, they make more per order, they make more money on average. So it's obviously it's better long term.
Long term, yes.
Yeah,
I also think that it brings significant value. You know, it's a big snowball.
yeah.
Of course, you need to invest money into a brand, especially if you're running a luxury brand. Uh, but we'll see. I have no experience doing that yet.
So it will be very interesting to see you guys do that. What's been your best growth hack so far?
In regards of business, or
Yeah, the business and growing the brand, like getting momentum, because right now it's doing really well.
uh, I mean, the first time we ran an ecom store before we went bankrupt, it took some time.
Yeah.
I mean, we still had kind of the same pace of growth, but this time we're doing it like 5 times bigger in the
Hmm.
same time frame. So I definitely think failure is the biggest growth hack. Failing, especially failing hard,
Yeah.
because without it you cannot mature. And the difference between actually funny story. Last time I was in Bali, I was bankrupt, like completely broke.
Not the
And now
same.
we are on our way to do 7 figures this month.
Yeah.
So and that's the pace we have had since start, kind of,
Yeah.
until it started like really kicking off the last 2 3 months. We have run this for now 6 months.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, man, failing fast, building a really good team. Team is super important. Like, I cannot stress how important human connections are, because the last thing I want to do is work or talk to a partner or like a man
Yeah.
that is just focused on the sale. Like even if I'm the dream client for you,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about becoming a client the first time I'm talking to you. Like
No.
give me at least some value if I'm gonna be a client.
Yeah. No, I
Basically,
completely agree. Yeah.
just give, don't just take. Give more than you take
That's
always.
a really valuable lesson, and it's especially today. If you're on LinkedIn or running any type of business, it's like million emails, million LinkedIn messages, Instagram messages. It's just
Yeah,
hard pitches on the first connection, and that's usually it doesn't work. Sometimes it works for our agency on certain
of course.
niches,
All
but
outreach is always hits.
yeah, but that's very outcome-based outreach as well. So it's like zero risk on their end. Uh, but like you said, if you want to build a business, stay in business is kind of the main focus of being in business. And if you want to do that long term, you need connections and actually provide value to your clients or to your network as well. Um, like when we chatted last time, you just asked me questions. It's not like I'm sending you an invoice for replying to questions
Yeah.
on Google advertising. That doesn't make sense. It's kind of building a relationship and actually providing the value,
Yeah, because further down the road, I will be a client for you.
hopefully.
Definitely think. We'll see.
Um, Kind of tying into that, when it comes to advertising, a lot of e-com stores and brands are working with agencies. What's been your guys' approach in terms of working with agencies?
That's a great question. I think for all e-com brands, I mean, it depends on how you want to run it. But if you actually want to have a brand, I actually, unless it's a very good agency, you can't have an agency
Yeah,
because another thing you notice in business, especially when hiring, the hardest part is to actually find the person that gives a fuck.
yeah,
And if you don't have that, there's just someone coming in and doing the work exactly what they are told to, and not creative thinkers. So yeah,
yeah. It's about also having like skin in the game because a lot of agencies still operate on the fixed retainer model, and it's yes, we or they just do exactly what's in the contract, and you don't get anything less or more, often less, but certainly not more. So it's kind of having skin in the game, and I agree with you. If you want to build that e-com business, of course you're going to get help from agencies with
yeah,
like running some ads or getting getting advice or kind of guidance on what to do. But long term, you should definitely have someone in-house that is good at marketing and good at content as well.
yeah. Actually, right now we're building everything in house in Bali.
Yeah,
So we have actually just hired two new editors that are coming to the villa and working with us. So it's like five, six, seven people at times working. And I would love to actually have the whole business in house, like
yeah,
email marketer. Like I hate email marketers because they're worse than agencies, especially email agencies. It's like the worst.
yeah. We work with email, but not like exclusively. But I think the issue there is um, the design versus copy versus value and conversions, and how do they price their services? Because that should be ROI positive because email conversion should be the cheapest conversions you ever have. So if you pay them $5,000 a month and your return is minimal or negative, that's obviously a horrible agency to work with.
Yeah, definitely. I think all brands should at least try to build in house before they
Yeah,
try outsource. And now, like, of course, you can build a cash printing machine running with all
yeah,
agencies, just hiring the best people. It's if that's the way you want to run it. But You will never have a proper brand with 3 a.m. ideas, like late night finished projects, just a little extra touch. And
Yeah.
that's the spice of a brand.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. You talked about you guys are in Bali now. That's the whole team in the house working together, and now you're bringing two more guys in. How has this helped you guys grow, and what kind of are the benefits of doing that?
I mean, you need to focus on like what moves the needle the fastest. So one person can approximately create 30 new concepts a month.
Yeah,
So it's just a matter of numbers then. So the more people you have, the more concepts you have. The more concepts you have, the more volume you have, and
yeah.
the more volume, the more money. Usually, it cannot be bad quality, of course.
But what's the difference of you guys like sitting at home or going to an office and actually living together in the same house working
Oh, it's no problem. We're working all the time.
all day, all night?
Of course, you cannot say always working, but kind of you are
Yeah,
because there's happening stuff always. Like even networking meetings, it's work.
yeah.
There's different types of work and different times of day when you do it. But usually you're always at work. So, but I think it's cool because I wouldn't want to run business alone.
No.
It would be very boring, I think.
Yeah, I've done it alone for the most part, and it's a pain because you have to do everything, and everything is on your shoulders as well.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not fun in the long run. And also there's no energy to feed off. So it's like if you're feeling down or is like no creative energy, there's no one else coming up with ideas. There's no one else kind of pushing you to do something. It's just that the work needs doing. But when you have the team and kind of bounce ideas off each other, maybe you had an idea at 9 o'clock this morning, but your team has an idea 12 at night. So it's like there's always someone thinking about it as well.
Their problems are always getting solved.
Yeah. Um, so we're just getting started in Q4, which is kind of the holy grail of ecom. Um, what are your strategies for this period?
Well, we have been very careful of how we approach Q4
Yeah,
because last Q4 made us bankrupt, but that was basically because we sold too much.
yeah,
So now you have to prepare more. And this year we're gonna do it like even bigger. It would be 10x the scale we did last year. So, but this year is gonna be fine,
yeah,
and that's because we paid a lot of ignorance tax, learning everything, and just actually I had a lot of talks with mentors. So I was clueless of what we're gonna do
yeah,
and how we're gonna approach this because I mean last time also it was just rushed. It was not proper. It just worked somehow. I don't know. But this time we have talked a lot with mentors and just try to understand how you can do it big and how you can do it properly and kind of shift the focus towards the important things. Uh, but in preparation, we're doing everything differently from logistics to marketing. Now we are pushing out so much content we've never done it before.
yeah,
Uh, Basically, just winging it because it's uh, the possibility of, for example, investment of an editor,
yeah,
a good editor, it can bring you 100x in Q4.
yeah, definitely.
Just investing a lot of money into marketing because if it's one time you got to do it, it's now.
Yeah. No, obviously we help a lot of brands with Q4, uh, but like the preparation part and the execution part. But what a lot of them don't think about is that logistic part, actually
Yeah.
having inventory or preparing the warehouse to we have or are going to have forecasted this amount of orders, and we need to ship them fast as well. So the orders come for Christmas, not next year sometime. And I think a lot of people kind of forget that because they think a lot about the front end of things, like bringing in more traffic, bringing in more sales. But like you guys experience, it's the back end that really matters when it comes
Right.
to that part.
No, November is a crazy period
Yeah,
because things you would never imagine just stop happening, and
yeah,
suddenly, if your system is not ready, like nightmares can happen, and you could be the best day and the worst day at the same time.
yeah. It definitely can. Do you have any tips for if there's any ecom founders, brand owners who are kind of watching or listening to this? What tips would you like to share with them going into kind of this sales season?
If I mean, even if it's not your first rodeo, you should talk to someone that is way bigger than you, that
Yeah,
has been through it multiple times. Even if they don't give you like specific tips, that's not usually what mentors do. It just helps you shift the mindset or vision of what's important, even if you already know it.
yeah,
But it just makes so much sense to do exactly what they're saying in preparation. So, spending money on info is very important. Of course, don't just splash money. Just do it tactically with the correct people, of course.
yeah,
And yeah, check everything in your business. Like you should calculate backwards, basically. If you want to sell for 2 million, how
yeah.
much stock is it? How much will you use on ads? Like, do you, for first of all, do you have enough stock? Do you have enough money? Do you have the team to do this? So you need to calculate backwards, to be honest. All KPIs.
No. Yeah, that's what we say to all of our leads and all of our clients as well. That kind of backwards math needs to be correct for us to actually put more money in and getting to the next level. And that's where a lot of them miss.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, you mentioned mindset a lot of times. Is that something that's kind of driven you guys forward? The kind of shift in mindset, obviously the failures and learning from them, but like mentally, is there something that's improved or changed that makes you guys ready for running a brand like this?
I think it's all the turning points.
Yeah,
There's so many that at this point, nothing surprises you, you know? Everything is already achieved in just a matter of time. So
yeah,
just doing the correct things of what you think is correct, and you really need to trust yourself and your partners, especially if they're good players, which if they're not, you should not work with them. But trusting everyone, then moving it into one direction.
yeah.
And even if shit happens, you still have your each other's back. Uh, and actually, when shit happens, is when you usually test the whole relationship.
That's very true. So, what is the long-term plan and goal for you and your brands?
Uh, for brands, it will just be scaling up,
Yeah,
just checking how crazy we can do it. Of course, there's no point of stopping unless
no,
let's go until something else breaks and then we fix it and then try again and see how it works. But uh, yeah, I've actually just been thinking of Q4.
yeah,
For the next year, we're thinking more of the new brands and how we are gonna have a successful start.
mm,
Uh, and we are also wanting to transition into info in Norway
makes sense.
because we see that there's no active players there right now.
No, it was kind of a wave, and then it feels like it completely died out.
Yeah,
So there's definitely space for that.
yeah, we and it's very specific reasons why info died in Norway. Uh,
Yeah.
who know, they know. But I think Norway is a great market because there's a lot of young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Uh, I okay. I was just checking the network. There's a lot of young entrepreneurs, and like Marcus Klepp is very good at noticing this, that there's no role models for people in Norway. Like there's no nowhere to get help.
No, not really. And obviously, the kind of political landscape doesn't help because everyone's moving out. And if there's no one there, then there will be no role models to look for either. So definitely the market there. I hope a lot of things get fixed so we can have more young, successful entrepreneurs from Norway. Everything is it kind of in place for that to happen, besides politics.
I mean, realistically though, there's very few Norwegian brands that are actually the biggest brand like product importer in
Yeah.
Norway, and that's also very sad. So it's like it's even if you start in Norway, you will not be selling in Norway. It's impossible.
No, no, it's yeah, um, hard to see, but it's yeah happening. I hope and pray that something gets fixed quickly.
Yes.
Awesome. We have a final question that every guest gets to answer. And the question is, what is the beauty of business to you?
Oh, beauty of business is the freedom. It's simple as that. It when you can do whatever you want, like be in Bali, 21 years old, while it's very cold in Norway. I feel very happy,
Yeah,
and just the ability to be around the people you choose to build with
yeah.
your whole life. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that's the most common answer to the question as well. It's freedom. So it makes a lot of sense why people choose this. Obviously, there are difficulties and challenges with building a business, but the freedom you potentially can achieve is a great motivator.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. You guys have decided to not share specific brand names and stuff, but if people want to connect with you, where should they reach out and where can they follow you?
I will answer all people on Instagram at my name, Armandas Puckus. So that's probably the best way. I don't really do too much LinkedIn right now, but probably should. But social
That's
media will be getting hotter and hotter.
yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. It's nice talking to you.